Hey guys and girls in YouTube world, welcome to part 3. Let me show you what's going on. We're almost done wiring this thing up. I found a jack that was in really good shape in my box of trinkets. So I just wired that in, so that's all good. The ground and live wire are in this nice big shielded wire, so that's perfect. So that's all good. And then I don't have one of these square box switches. I did order one on Amazon, but it'll be like December 30th by the time it gets here. So I just said forget. And I'm going to attempt to wire this switch. This was an extra one that I bought for another one of my guitars that has a switch like this and it's kind of shorting out. And I was going to pop this sucker in there, but never got around to it. So I still had this switch. It just fits in there. I'm hoping that once I get it situated, that these prongs won't make contact with the shielding paint, because that could cause a short. Anyway, if so, I'll just put some masking tape on the inside there, just around the cavity, so that it doesn't short out. Because I've had that problem happen before. I have the ground wire soldered, and now I just got to wire these. So I think the white one is for, the middle position, so that'll go in the middle. The green one is the neck pickup, from what I can tell in this rat's nest down there. And the red one would be the bridge. I'm just going to wire them that way and hope for the best. All right, I'll be back in a sec. Only have 2 wires left to connect, and then we can see if this actually works. I have no strings left. On my guitars, I use DR dragon skin strings. They're like a coated string, but they sound just like a regular string, and I love those strings. They're great. But for other people's guitars, some people don't like coated strings or whatever. I always put 9-42s, Ernie Ball Slinkies. Yeah, they're just a good all-around set of guitar strings, and I'm totally out. But my awesome wife just texted. She's on her way home from Summerside, and she passes right by the music store, and she told me that she would stop in and pick me up a set for me. Thanks, honey. Appreciate it. So we'll be able to fire this thing up in the next 15 minutes. Yee-hoo! Let's solder these wires in. And wish me luck that this works. One. Last one. Man, these are really small wires to work with. Just pop them through the hole there. Give them a little pinch, hold them in place, and then bead a solder, and we're done. There we go, ladies and gents. All wired up. So we'll plug this thing in before I put that switch in and see which pickup is what, and hope this output jack works. I have the amp on. I have my little truss rod adjustment wheel bar, so that can be great to tap these pickups with. I got the switch hanging out of the back there. And so we're going to test the orientation of the switch. And the reason I don't want to put it in is because if something doesn't work, it might be because these tabs are touching the shielding paint. So with the switch outside of the guitar, if it works, then I know that the switch is, functional. And that way, once I put it in, if there's a problem, then I know it's a grounding out issue or something. So here goes the click. Hey, no weird buzzing noises like video number 1. That's good. Make sure all these are full. These are in the middle, so that should be fine for the test. All right. Let me show you here. So this switch right now is in the middle position, so both pickups should be on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. You know what? You would almost think that I know what I'm doing. I just flick the switch down here. I don't know if you can see that. So the tab that's connected to the green wire is pushed away. So the red wire, which is making contact right now, is my neck. And the green one, let's flick this the other way. So now the green wire is making contact. The green wire is the bridge. All right, so now we know what's what. Switch is in, and I have just enough clearance that it's not causing any grounding issues. So yeah, so down I have bridge, middle, I have both, and up I have neck. So perfect, works great. And I don't have any scratchy pots. Everything is awesome. Great. Just need strings. Well, I'm all done. I'm just waiting for my honey to get home with some strings. Oh, wait, I see some lights. I think she's here. Hello?
Hello?
Honey, hurry up. All of YouTube is stopped. We're waiting for guitar strings. Oh, yeah. She's awesome. Thank you very much. All right, we got the strings. Guitar's all wired up. Let's get this done. All right, you don't need to watch me wrist string. It's pretty boring. We are done. Jacket's coming off. So it intonated perfectly. However, next time I do a string change, or my buddy does a string change, I'm going to recommend to flip the bridge around, and I'll show you why. Firstly, here's the finished product. Tuners are all good. That nut came out just great. The frets are fantastic. Not taping up the fretboard turned out to be a good idea, because all that sanding really, took a lot of the scratches out, and it looks great now that it's cleaned and reconditioned. Pickups came out pretty good. I mean, there's a couple of rust spots on them that just won't come off because the chrome is gone. New switch's been installed. There's a lot of dings and dents still. That's not coming out, and I'm not, refinishing the body because it's got character. This bridge cleaned up well, but really, look how close these saddles are to the, front edge of this bridge. Really, these saddles should have been either turned around or this bridge flipped around so that the flat side would be facing, the nut. Anyway, it worked. It intonated okay. And the tailpiece, it does what it's supposed to do. The brass knobs, they turned out okay. No more green on them. And the cool thing is, here, let me take this mute off. I'm running my pedal board because we'll have a listen to see what it sounds like with overdrive. So I just plugged all that in. And there's no noise. No more scratchy pots, nothing. Even the switch, nothing. And the jack is good. That's as much as a restoration as I want to do to this. I was able to save all the original parts, got the covers back on, truss rod covers back on. This neck is pretty much straight. I got a tiny bit of relief. Just to be clear, these videos, because I get comments saying, so how long does this really take, when you guys do these videos? It looks like everything goes well. Well, it doesn't. There's always something, that happens. Either you get a phone call, you got to leave, you got to go pick up a kid, there's always something going on. Like this little restoration. Today is Thursday, and I started this on Tuesday. Ripped it apart on Tuesday. Did all the fret leveling, everything yesterday, and finished, with the strings and everything, and tonight. So all in all, I probably have close to 4 hours of work in this guitar. But and I work full time during the day, so I can only do it at night, and I just do it to my level of ability, which to some might seem like I'm really good, and to others it's like, man, you suck. I neither suck nor am I really good. I'm kind of right in the middle. I can get by, but there's a lot of stuff I don't know, and I appreciate all your comments. If I were to post this like real time, man, you'd have like almost 3, 4, 4.5 hours of video to watch. To do it, it's interesting, but to watch it, it's super boring. So I'm not going to make you guys sit through that. If there's questions or stuff that you didn't see that you'd like to see, let me know. But I didn't change anything. It's all the original pots. I just changed the jack, the output jack, because it was it was bad. I just cleaned the pots, didn't touch the soldering. Everything was good. Obviously the switch had to be resoldered. So as far as the electronics go, right here, didn't touch anything. And those 2 big stack pots, I read some stuff online about it. It's pretty cool. And if you go read the comments of the second video of this, the Perennial Gadgeteer, he's one of the guys who comments a lot of my videos, and the guy is freaking borderline genius. Like, he knows so much stuff, and he does his research, and I appreciate you, buddy. Anyway, he basically posted what I was reading about last night, and I'll just read part of his comment. Basically, the way it works is there are 2 stack pots, one of which has a half track in it, the other one has a reverse half track with a detent in the center. And yes, you turn it in the middle and you can feel there's a stopping point right between the 2 pots, I guess. So that's correct. With a detent in the center where the wipers don't connect to either track in either pot. So neither pot has any effect in the center, but if you turn it one way, it acts as a treble cut, and if you turn it the other way, it acts as a bass cut. So it's actually a really cool idea. So yeah, it is. I never really heard of that stuff. I've never personally owned a guitar that had stack pots like that, but it is pretty cool. And now that they're clean, you can hear that. You can hear that description, here in the room. I don't know if that you'll hear it on the video, but I'll try. So here is the guitar in center position, right? So I can go left, I can go right. So here's center, left, right, click, there's center, and out, in phase, obviously, and bridge position. So here's what the guitar sounds like, just everything flat. And you'll excuse the new string stretching a little bit. I did just stretch them a bit, but that's, I just basically set it up, turn the camera on. Alright, so watch this. I'm going to turn it towards the B, and that should add some low end. It should act like a treble cut, and then when I turn it towards the T, it should act as a kind of a treble boost or a bass cut. So here we go, towards the B. Yeah, see? And then back in the middle, and then towards the... Then you lose all the low end, it gets really thin. There's the middle, right? So then we'll just go on the neck, and we'll try that with this one. We'll do the same thing. Same thing. It's kind of nice in the neck. So it's nice that you have that option. Okay, I'm just going to tune quick because I can hear this thing going out of tune. Alright, tuned up. So here is bridge pickup, everything in the middle, volume's full, clean tones. Middle position. Neck position. I'm really surprised these pickups still work after all these years. But this style of guitar, it's mostly the overdrive I would guess that people would want. So let's do that. Let's put some Clarksdale, Wampler Clarksdale on. This thing is awesome. Heavy, higher gain, so tumness. Still stretching. Alright, middle position. Put some drive. Very, very mellow, eh? In the middle. Heavy gain. Alright, we'll try the neck position. Again, middle, and full. And we'll go, I don't know, we'll try some blues here. Alright, neck with some high gain. This thing sounds really cool. All right, we'll go back to the middle with some high gain stuff. And we're gonna throw the pickups out of phase. So here we go. Wow, that's really cool. This guitar is really cool. I like it. You know, it's really different. It's well made. I gotta say, these 1980s made in Japan guitars, whether you know they're Fender, WESTONE, like Yamaha, whatever brand, they were made in Japan in the 80s. Man, they were good. Awesome electronics, shielded, good materials, brass nut, brass saddles, brass knobs. Pretty impressive. If this thing had stainless steel frets, man, it would be a killer axe. Just a few more specs. These tuners, they are about 14:1 ratio. They're not a high gear ratio at all. So the slightest little turn of the tuner makes a big difference on your tuning. So you really got to go easy on these tuners. So yeah, not the highest ratio. Maybe you'd want to change that for something that has a higher ratio so it would have more, you know, more forgiveness in the tuning peg and you could get a little more precise tuning. But you know, stays in tune well, no real issues. There's no slop in these whatsoever. Bridge pickup, I made some notes here. Bridge pickup is 11.12K, so 11.12K for the bridge, 10.63 for the neck, and when you flick the switch in the middle, you have 5.49K. So, which is why, you know, in that little demo, it was pretty mellow in the middle position, even with overdrive. All in all, this thing kind of turned out pretty well. This guitar is probably not for everybody because it's a beast. This thing weighs 9 pounds. And it feels like it too. It's surprisingly heavy. But it balances nice because of it. So I don't know what they put in this body if it's infused with lead. But I'll tell you, It's a heavy guitar. If you have any questions that I didn't cover in the 3 videos, fire off a question if you have any down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.